Well, howdy folks, it's Thursday and we've got something different, something I've never had one of these in here, so this is going to be a you, me, learn, whatever sort of experience today. But what we're after today is something that apparently is a thing. Yeah, and it's like there are toxic problems within even brand new homes. There could be a toxic problem in there that's in the air that could cause lung cancer or all kinds of health issues and sinuses, problems, what have you. And they're sort of referring this whole thing to what they call Raydon, which is kind of like radiation, radon, and so there's a meter to detect that kind of a problem within a home or a business or an office or wherever it is you're dealing with, that you might want to check for radon and see what's going on. And that meter is right there. So what is radon? What is this? What are we looking at? Okay, radon. It is really the breakdown of ground or stone, rock, that sort of thing, and it's radiation. That's really what it breaks down to. But so this is kind of like a Geiger counter, looking for radiation, and it is and it is not. Really, what it is that radon is the toxicity levels that come off of decaying and radiation items that apparently we have them around us. I just didn't realize I didn't realize it was that bad. Yeah, but it can be out there, and you can be having a problem, or you could seriously be threatening your own life or someone's life in your household without knowing it. So this is kind of what this kit is about, and this is what this is for. It's a meter that's going to check for radon and this radiation material that's breaking down. Yeah, in short, radon is the toxic gas coming off of uranium. Uranium is found in just about everything. Yeah. That, I don't know whoever said that, but it makes me want to investigate, how did we come about to this point in our time. But anyways, these toxic gases can seep in, and they can get into new houses or they can get into old houses. So it doesn't really make much difference whether it's a new house or an old house. It's just simply, it's something that can happen, and it can seep in and it can come up from the ground, the soil conditions. Very rare to come through like building materials in general, but I guess in some rare events or something like that has happened. But in order to check for radon, we need a meter, and that's what we have today here. And this was sent in by a gal that I love her. Good old Eileen. She sends me some of the most interesting things, and when she talked about this, I thought, well, we're selling the house right now, we're selling the studio, everything's going, and we're moving, we think. So far we haven't sold, so yeah, we're still here, And I thought, well, we've got a little bit of time on my hands, Eileen, so you know what, go ahead and send this over, because I'd like folks to know about situations like, in this case, radon or radiation that is toxic, that's floating around, and it can be quite the health, it can be quite a health issue, and it can create a lot of problems. I think the worst thing I saw on the list was, lung cancer. It was like, there's something you don't want to hear about. So what does this come with? It comes with a little booklet that's going to show you how to use this bad boy. It also comes with something that looks like you could talk to it and say, hey Alexis, play me some tunes. Yeah. And a charging cable, of course. USB to USB-C, good. I guess one of the things we should do is get this plugged in and charged up so we can start playing with it. And let's see how much toxicity and radiation I've got in my garage today. Oh boy. Well, okay, so far everything sounds like bad news. Well, the good news is, look at this thing. I've charged it up, and it's simple to do. It's like a power button here, and hold that, turn it on. And I'm going to show you the box because, it's, the date and everything. There's kind of like the very top of the machine right there, and you can sort of see, what it's going to do. Now, it takes about an hour to get a proper sample, and apparently we have to set the date and time on this, which I didn't know about that, so I'll just do that real quick. Clearing in progress. Okay, so it's clearing the data, but what we're going to be looking for is looking for that. Just imagine, well, you kind of, let's see if I can hold this right for you. Yeah, you can kind of see it on the box, and there it is there. It's it's pretty straightforward. It's right now it's starting up its 1 hour run, so accumulated, and it's got that universal little symbol of the, you know, uranium. Yeah, it's some little red one there on the box. Yeah, on there, and it's doing its thing. And I'm gonna have to leave this to run for an hour so it can collect the, I guess say the data, or data, depending on where you're from. And then we'll see how many parts per million, you know. This is all based somewhat loosely on the EPA situation of what is allowed parts per million is what they consider safe or unsafe. We'll find out. And I'll tell you what, we'll leave this running and we'll come back in an hour and we'll have a reading for how much uranium decay we have around here. But, you know, I'm sort of laughing, but you know what, in many ways, this is not funny. It's a thing, and you may want to take a good hard look at it. I'm worried a little bit because I have had a lot of equipment in here that could emit radiation that maybe, you know, it might compound the problem, or I don't know. But let's wait for an hour, and then we'll take a reading at that point, and we'll find out what the situation looks like. Before I forget, there will be a link in the description below, of course, where you can find this. Wow. One thing else I think I forgot to mention is this is a touchscreen activity here at the top, so that's kind of cool too. We haven't quite got the whole hour in just yet. Let's see what I've got here. I've got 52 minutes, so we're just about at 1 hour, and the if the parts per million was any lower, I'd be in a lead-lined room or something from the rest of the earth or something, because I got 0.513 is the reading I've got right now. That's like, this thing can't even go over. In fact, on the box they have a sample here, and you can see the little indicator right here, the little thing here, and it goes over to the, you know, you don't want to be here obviously. This has actually pushed down and gone even further over to the green of not having any, you know, radiation, or, well, radons around, which is really cool. But I want to do an experiment, and this is Thursday. I'm probably going to release this Friday because I want to play with something. Got an idea. I looked around the house and it was like, I don't have anything that would theoretically be toxic or breaking down and having, you know, releasing radiation or something. Or do I? Well, maybe I do have something that, you know, could have some kind of a reading. So I thought about this, and we're going to try this. I'm going to put this in a box so that it's kind of enclosed with it. And what it is my wristwatch right here. This is a U.S. Navy SEALs diver's watch. It's about 30 plus years old. And it lights up and glows at night in the dark, or if you're in dark, deep dark water like I have been, you can read it, you know. And how they did that was using, basically, I guess we'll say uranium. It's basically, you know, radiation coming off. There was a movie made a long time ago with women involved with something that they were doing with, I think it was for World War II or something. And yeah, I think they were using iridium or something. But anyway, radiation was poisoning them basically, and they didn't realize what was going on. So anyways, I was going to put this watch in a box with this and leave the whole thing sit for like an hour and take a reading and just see if it gets an increase in the radons, and just see what it shows. Unlike a radiation detector where, you know, you're doing one of those things with the, have you ever seen the science fiction shows and the aliens land and the guy runs up and, you know, does all that business. This is a little different. This has got air vents right here, and it's taking samples through the air looking for radon, which is, again, that toxic particles that are coming from decaying uranium sources, that sort of thing. Because everything around us sort of like has a little bit of that decay thing in it, and uranium is just about all over the place as far as in you know, minute amounts, it's possible to, you know, get into this, and it could be a real health concern. So I am concerned that, you know, if you live in the right place of, say, anywhere in the world, if you get one of these, you might want to set it up and just make sure that your home is as safe as you think it is. Yeah, it's always nice to come home and think you're safe, you know, from strange things that happen outside the world. Let's see what we got right now. I'm at still, I'm at 55 minutes right now, so I got 5 minutes left to go, but right now it is like, it couldn't go in any greener. You know, it's just point, you know, 5, 1, 3, whatever. And like I said, the house is built on reclaimed dirt from a canal system that was brought up here. And not like the Love Canal, you know, Buffalo, New York, I think it was. I'm not even sure what all the details were about that, but somehow there was wasteland dump stuff or something in the ground that was leaching. Yeah, and that's the sort of thing we're, you know, sort of talking about here. But I'm going to put this in with the watch, leave it for an hour, and see what kind of reading you get. We'll come back and show you that. In the meantime, we're almost at an hour. So like I said, I think what we'll do is we'll try to release this for Friday and hold off, because I've actually got, I got to sell the house in about an hour or so. So it's like, okay, it's like potential buyer. Yeah, you never know. Yeah, after we move, hopefully we'll get back to set up with I'm hoping for a larger studio. Great big, you know, studio, great big garages for my cars and stuff, and maybe just a little house with, you know, a kitchen stove and a bathroom in it or something. Yeah, a real man's place, you know. Yeah. But man, this is, like I say, it's just, the reading is just so low. It's, I'm surprised. There should be a happy face on here or something, but yeah, that is just absolutely bottomed out green. It's like you are safe, you know. But let's try something crazy that yeah, and see what kind of a reading we can get. Well, it's here's the test. I put this in a box so that it's kind of contained a little bit, and it's in there with my Navy SEALs diver's watch that has the iridium that supposedly, yeah, has some kind of uranium involved. So theoretically, we might get some measurement of radon off of that. So I figured we'd try this for an hour. So let's see how we did. Yeah. And let's see what we got. Oh, wow. It's been over an hour and 46 minutes since the test started. And oh, by the way, this stores data. Yeah, it will store the data for you. And when you reboot it and start it back up, it will automatically erase the previous data and start a new line. So anyway, just thought I'd mention that. But anyway, in the box, and we have 0.000. So we have no radons around here. Not even the watch. I really thought the watch might, you know, indicate something, because it's yeah, it has iridium, so it's not going to work that way. So we're gonna call this a done deal. But let's see if now I can shut it off. Oh, here we go. And put the old power button down, and she begins the shutdown mode. So really, this is one of these things where you can leave it laying around someplace in the house or wherever you suspect there may be a problem, and pick something up. Now, I'm not going to go through a whole house right now with it, but I would think the whole house is not much different than what I've got in the garage here right now. I'm really surprised. There's virtually nothing here. You know, it's absolutely clear. But I am in a very interesting area where there's really nothing going on around here. So, yeah, depending on where you live, you may want to consider something like this to check up on things, especially, you know, any kind of land where it's been recycled, you know, sort of thing. Yeah, you know, or you're near, you know, nuclear power supply, anything like that would be another place to look. Or any kind of dump ground things that are anywhere in the area, you might want to take a look and just see if anything like radon is seeping into your home. It's a thing, yeah. So okay, shut down and data stop recording. Oh, I gotta, right, and of course you have to press the button thing. Now it's totally off. Now when I start this back up, it will completely start a whole new data stream that will store in here. So that's, like I say, it's kind of an amazing device. It's from AEG Tests. Yeah, I think it's right there anyways. And I'll try to provide a link in the description below for you, so where you can, you know, look this puppy up and take a look at it and see if you're interested in having something like that around the home, even just to run some tests right now. But long range wise, you can leave this in any room laying around. It's rechargeable with the USB, so, you know, it's not going to need batteries or anything. Wow, what a strange show. I know, and it's Friday. I had to lay over to Friday just to run that test with the watch and stuff. And apparently there's no radon, so good. I guess that's sort of should make me feel a little bit better about my watch. Okay. Thank you for watching Coffee and Tools. I'm out of here. Over and out.